What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Box Out Boys podcast. We are your NBA podcast of the people, your home for lukewarm takes and substandard analysis. I'm Titus, Two Shots Dominguez, and joining me tonight, it's Chris, the stats man Gorman. Hit him with the stats, Chris.
Hey, Franz Wagner leads all rookies in minutes played at 23.91, 1 minute ahead of number 2, Scotty Barnes.
Ooh, we will be talking some Rookie of the Year tonight, but also getting minutes, heavy minutes, laying down those sweet green stripes. It's the lawn boss, Joey McCroskey. Get that, Joe.
Hey.
Hey.
Good evening.
Hey.
Hey.
Nobody had to do it. Good evening, Joe, and welcome aboard the ship. We're already steering. We're already steering to the left. It's all right. But he's gonna hit us with the freshest beats later on. It's Adam, the professional Bruns, the Doughboy. How the levels tonight, Adam?
Spiky.
Oh yeah, sorry, I'm yelling into my stuff here.
He's got the pink lady going. That's why.
The ladies are pink. They're flowing good. My summertime drink. You guys know this. All right, we got a lot on deck tonight. We are going to debate Rookie of the Year. We'll see if we're going to debate Rookie of the Year. Who knows? Maybe we'll all agree, as we typically do sometimes. Then Joey's got a fun little redraft for us, and we're going to debate that. Redraft of the 2019 and the 2020 draft. And then we're going to do a fun little bit at the end. We're going to compare some NBA teams to TV shows, sitcoms, dramas, the sit combine, if you will. I don't know. I'm coming up with dumb names for all these segments, but
it passes the sniff test.
All right, let's break it in. Chris, let's throw it to you, man. Rookie of the Year. Give us a breakdown. Who are the top candidates? Who are kind of the favorites? What's going on in that race?
Yeah, so the favorite at minus 500 might have changed since last I checked is Evan Mobley, starting power forward for the Cleveland Cavaliers, second overall pick out of USC. Close behind him is Scotty Barnes, fourth overall pick out of Florida State. And then we got Cade Cunningham coming up the rear here, averaging, coming through after missing part of the season. Obviously, the first overall pick out of Oklahoma State. Those are kind of the three. We can talk about Herbert Jones, Franz Wagner, as I mentioned at the beginning, Ayo Dosunmu, Jonathan Kuminga.
Yes.
They're all getting some work in. They're top 10, but really these three, Barnes, Mobley, and Cade, are the guys to focus on.
All right. Well, before we kind of break down the merits and everything of that, what do you guys think just in general of this class? Joey, I'll throw to you. Those, handful of guys Chris just mentioned, plus we got Ayo going in the second round and some other guys. How has this class been shaping up so far?
Yeah, I think it's going to be one of the better classes we're going to see top to bottom. Obviously I spent a lot of time on 2019 and 2020, and there's a lot of good players in there, but a lot of them you can move around and you can make arguments, in or out of the top 10. But there's a reason I didn't do the 2021 draft yet, because it doesn't seem like there's a lot of movement to be had with these rookies. All of them seem to be fitting into the roles that they were drafted for. I think the biggest one is probably Ayo. And that's not just being a homer. That's just, I think the Bulls getting him in the second round was considered a steal then, and it's come to even more fruition. And if that draft happened today, there's no way he falls into the second round. He's definitely going top 10.
Yeah, there's names like him. I know Bones Highland went a little later. I'm not sure exactly when he went, but he was a guy that's been, killing it for Denver. Been getting quality minutes for them and helping them with all their injuries. So yeah, there's definitely been some guys later in the draft that were really good, and then the top guys have all been, for the most part, really doing well. So, Chris, who you gave us who the favorites are in Vegas?
Yeah,
so who is your pick for Rookie of the Year?
My pick. At the end, it's still Evan Mobley, and the reasons I'll lay out for Evan Mobley is he's a guy. He's made the Cleveland Cavaliers into their first winning season without LeBron James since 1998-99 season, and he, even though the stats don't completely back it up compared to one of the other candidates, he's been a major piece why this team is where they're at. And I think bringing a team from mediocrity down to the bottom every year into, the playoff hunt like this, I think wins merit over, some other advanced stats.
Yeah. I mean, the Cavs, kind of like you said, really elevating themselves as a team really gives Mobley a pretty strong case. Joey, who's your guy? What are your thoughts on Mobley, too?
Yeah, I think Mobley is probably the one. I think Chris's point is exactly right. That team had some of the same pieces last year, and they, went on a little run with the whole Sexland ordeal. But they really didn't make any noise. They didn't stay consistent. And then, now they get Mobley in, and things just seem to be shaping up and being a lot better for them. And also too, and I know it's not really taken into account for rookie of the year, but like longevity wise, he seems to be like he's already fitting the bill. And there's not a lot of mistakes that you're seeing from him, just watching from the Bulls game on Saturday night. He didn't have a great game, but you could just see like the way that he plays, it fits into the NBA. Even watching against Scotty Barnes, like there's some stuff where they're exposing Scotty Barnes as a rookie and there's some mistakes happening, but you didn't see that as much with Evan Mobley. So I think it makes perfect sense. I think you got to take into consideration the impact that he's had to the team and not just the stats that he puts up. And there's nobody who's been better as a rookie than Mobley has. Yeah,
and I for the most part, I do sort of agree with you guys. But the one guy that stood out to me when I pulled some stats, and I just pulled some stats for the top 4 guys. And admittedly, I hadn't really watched a ton of, Magic games or a ton of Pistons games. So like, eyes on Cade, I haven't seen him a ton, although I did check out their last game against Brooklyn, and he looked phenomenal, especially in that fourth quarter. Eyed up Durant at least once and hit 3 or 4 big threes at the end to keep that game close. So he's definitely got an interesting case. I know he started a little later, but the guy that I really do like, and I wouldn't mind actually seeing it, is Scotty Barnes. Like you were saying, I think he has had a little more rookie mistakes and been exposed a little bit more, but I do like the role he's playing for Toronto. Kind of, I think they're running a lot of their offense through him at times, which is pretty interesting. And pulling his stats compared to Mobley, very similar. Both at 15 points a game. 8 rebounds for Mobley, 7 for Scotty, a few more assists for Scotty. And then I really liked his PER is at 16.3, which is the highest of any of the rookies. Usage rate is lower of the top 4 kind of candidates, top 3 candidates. I mean, Cade's is through the roof. But, I like that. I thought his, contributions to a winning team also, Mobley's obviously on a winning team in the Cavs, and the Cavs have been strong all year, maybe tapering off now. And Toronto's kind of coming on strong, and they're both going to be in the playoffs and see some minutes. So either one of those guys I'd be okay with. I think if I had a vote, I think I would actually go Scotty Barnes, because I think he's playing a huge role with these guys. So
Scotty,
the thing with Scotty, he can guard all 5 positions. The guy's an animal on the court, and I'm actually surprised Joey didn't go with Scotty, just because every time I see Scotty, it's like, this is what we were hoping with Patrick Williams. It was kind of like this guy that was taken 4th overall. I think on the same school. And right? And and he's just doing everything at a more confident level than Patrick Williams can do.
Yeah, he's the guy.
He's the guy.
He's the guy.
And he's kind of the secondary ball handler behind Fred VanVleet. So
we went on
Scotty Barnes
there.
Chris went robot.
You got us, Chris?
Yeah.
You went a little robot there for a second. I don't know what.
We got you.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, that was weird.
Fine.
Still heard you. Yeah, no. Good points. Yeah, no. Scotty being a ball handler for them, the defensive presence that he is. I mean, obviously Mobley's a great defender too. So, but yeah, solid rookie class all the way around, man. I really think it's good.
Yeah, I think just really like in terms of like longevity of this class, like I feel like there's going to be a lot of names in this draft that are going to be around for a long time, and we're going to be talking about them in 3-4 years as top 20
players. I forgot to even
like,
mention like Jalen Green's number 2 and Mobley was 3, and Jalen Green's gonna be all right. Like
he'll be fine.
To your point, like they're all gonna be Josh Giddey.
Yeah, Josh Giddey. Yeah. There's some names we haven't even mentioned from this draft. So all right, we kind of landed on Mobley essentially being our pick of 2-1 there of the rookie of the year, with obviously the Scotty case there. Now, Joe, you bring up a good point. Who do you think is going to be the best player long term from the draft? I think those two guys are probably the best two guys this year. But long term, is it still Cade? Is still Cade's going to be the number one guy, or do we think one of those guys can maybe snatch it, or is it somebody else? Is it IO? What do you think, Joey?
I don't think it's going to be IO long term. I don't think it's going to turn into the best player out of this draft.
I don't think so either.
It'd be awesome if he is. That'd be one of the coolest stories. But I think it's going to be Mobley or Scotty Barnes.
Okay.
I think Cunningham's going to have his high moments, like almost like a Trae Young type. Like you're going to have these moments where you're going to be like, man, this guy is fantastic. And then there's going to be a lot of moments where you're going to be like, yeah, I'm good without him kind of thing. Like I think it's going to have a lot of ups and downs. It's not going to be this, very consistent kind of thing. Like you're not going to, like if Cade's on your team, you're not upset about it. Like, I mean, if Trae Young was on the Bulls, none of us would be upset about it. Like we'd be like, yeah, cool, we'll take him. But you're going to have those periods where you're going to kind of forget that he's around and playing, but you're going to kind of always remember that there's this, these two kind of tall NBA, modern day NBA players with size and length, but can kind of play, most positions. And as Chris said, guard a lot of positions on the floor.
For sure. Sounds like Cade might be a future all-you-can-have-him player there.
Yeah, that's interesting.
That's interesting
the Cade to Trae comparison is a little iffy, considering they're completely different players. But I think I understand your point where Cade kind of does disappear in some games, where he'll get 30, he'll get nearly a triple-double one game, and then the next game he'll get like 10 points and miss 15 shots. So he's a rookie, so maybe that's the thing. That's something he'll have to fix. That's interesting.
Yeah, I wasn't comparing it as similar players. It was more of the concept of their.
For sure.
Yeah.
I like that. That's kind of curious. Like, does Cade end up being like the best player on a mediocre team, and where Scotty and Mobley end up being quality, 3 or 4 number 3, number 4 players on potentially championship teams? And maybe is that why they're the better player? So
see, I was thinking the two Jalen's that were taken 2 and 5, and Green and Suggs would be the good stats bad team guys.
Oh yeah,
considering they're Suggs doesn't even put on good stats. He's on a bad team, so I don't know about him. I really like Franz Wagner. I think he could potentially take a sneaky big leap.
That's true.
And then, but I'm rooting for Mobley, because I don't think we don't have a player like him anymore in this league. He's kind of a unique. A power forward, playing in the post like that doesn't happen anymore. It's kind of like, he's Kevin Garnett reincarnated essentially, right? And I kind of want to see that succeed, because I want me some more big men.
Loves the big man.
Love the big man.
All right. Well, with that, I think we can wrap up Rookie of the Year and move on to the drumroll, please. Redrafts. All right, where do we want to start? Joey, do you want to start with 19 up front? You said that was what one that gave you the most trouble.
Yeah, we can start with 19 up front. So I guess want me to do this. Want me to just read you draft or pick by pick, and if I'm swapping them out?
Yeah, how many are we doing? 5 or 10?
It's just 10. I did the top 10 on each.
All right, perfect. Well, do you have the original top 10s?
I do have the original top 10.
All right, run us down the original top 10, and then run us down your top 10.
Can I share my screen without ruining this?
Yes, I'm not sharing my screen. I have another one. It's a big Excel file, so I didn't want to slow down the network here.
Let's see. Chris is going to give it a shot. All right, here we go. It's hard to see that, but
all right.
I'm zooming.
Yep. All right. So 2019 pick number 1, Zion Williamson of the Pelicans. John Morant went number 2 to Memphis. RJ Barrett went 3 to the Knicks. DeAndre Hunter 4th to the Lakers. Darius Garland 5th to Cleveland. Jarrett Culver 6th to Phoenix. Kobe White went 7th to Chicago.
Woo-woo.
Jackson Hayes went 8th to Atlanta. Rui Hachimura went 9th to Washington. And Cam Reddish went 10th to Atlanta.
All right. Nothing. I'm not sure what Chris is sharing here.
Chris, you try to stop sharing your screen.
Yeah, I think
my banner. My banner is the display banner. It's not letting me show the players.
It knows what you're doing. It knows what's happening.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
They don't.
All right.
Anyways.
No, that was a good list. Obviously, some picks in there that are probably not going to be in the top 10. So go ahead and give us your redraft, and we'll start
All
it
right.
up.
Yeah, so my redraft. John Morant goes number 1 to the Pelicans.
All right, boom.
Darius Garland goes from the 5th pick to the 2nd pick to Memphis.
Whoa, this is a spicy take.
Zion Williamson goes number 3 to the Knicks because they're still going to take a chance on the injured, not playing guy.
True.
RJ Barrett goes 4th to the Lakers, and that's kind of based on who they picked and kind of their need at the time.
Okay.
Tyler Hero.
Here we go. 5.
Tyler Hero jumps to number 5 to Cleveland, so he replaces the Darius Garland pick. So he comes out. I think he was 13th or 12th. Jordan Poole goes to Phoenix instead of Jarrett Culver. Guys, I did it. I found somebody to replace Kobe White. I've been leading you on this whole time. Okay, stick with me on this. All right.
All right. So where we're at, Jordan Poole just went 6th.
Jordan Poole just went 6th. PJ Washington goes 7th to Chicago.
PJ Washington. What are we doing here?
So in terms, well, I'll keep going. All right. Matisse Thybulle goes 8th to Atlanta.
Yes.
Kobe White goes 9th to Washington over Rui. And Jackson Hayes goes 10th to Atlanta over Cam Reddish. So really who gets dropped out is Rui Hachimura, Cam Reddish, Jarrett Culver, and DeAndre Hunter all get dropped out of this.
Those
of this top 10.
Okay.
So the biggest impacts, I kind of went through and gave some ratings and, stat wise. So technically based on the games that Zion has played, New Orleans would be taking a drop in performance by like 1 point, but I think that's, reasonable based on Ja being available and longevity wise, the better choice. That then makes Memphis's pick with Darius Garland worse. The Knicks get better, and then everybody else kind of goes like 2 to 2.5 points better. The Bulls taking PJ Washington over Kobe White. So they barely improve. It's technically an improvement based on my scoring metrics. They go from an 8.4 player rating to an 8.5. Kobe's got 2 points more better per game. Obviously, PJ Washington has better rebounds. Assists are actually relatively equal. Everything else is pretty equal. And then you get down to field goal percentage, and PJ Washington has a better field goal percentage and a better player efficiency rating. Now, my reason for this is when we get to 2020, Patrick Williams is not the Bulls pick at number 4.
Oh, so you're thinking beyond just this trade.
So years ahead.
So I'm thinking, why not Jackson Hayes, even though he's not that
so in this
great?
kind of play, right? At this point in time, they don't have anybody really at that position, right? They don't have Vooch. They've got Wendell Carter Jr. As their kind of big guy, but they don't have kind of that outside big guy, right?
Yeah.
Hope they wanted for Patrick Williams. So they're going to take PJ Washington early. They have Zach. They're going to kind of hope that Zach is going to be your point guard kind of thing. They're kind of figure this whole thing out. So they're going to jump in. They're going to take PJ Washington and get some size. That's what they're going for. Kobe White still makes top 10. He just falls to 9th.
This is feeling more like a Bulls redraft. I kind of just want I want to hear what you have for 2020 NBA draft.
Well,
the only thing I would highlight is DeAndre Hunter. I think would go over. Who'd you have at 10?
Jackson Hayes.
Yeah, I'd put DeAndre Hunter. Hunter's still he's a little underwhelming, but I think he's got more upside than what this Jackson man has been giving you.
Yeah. He is a little bit better based on my rankings, but not by much, half a point.
Did you look into Grant Williams at all? He was later in this draft.
I did not look into Grant Williams. The notable names that I put down off of this were Taylor Horton Tucker and Terrence Mann. THT went 46 and Terrence Mann went 48.
So Grant Williams is a name I saw in the list later. I know he's getting some good minutes for Boston, but I didn't look into his stats or anything of how he's playing. But I thought he might move up a little bit. But I still had a Hachimura in my top 10. I am curious if the Bulls maybe should have gone with Thybulle in that redraft because you have him going after our pick, right?
I do, yes. I have him going to Atlanta I have the Bulls taking offense over defense at this point in time.
Yeah.
This is also still the Garpax regime, so they're probably going to take the offense. But Atlanta would go that they need defense, right? They've been a pretty bad
Yeah, that would
for a
have been a
while,
good
so
pick
they
for them.
would, knowing that Thibault has been the defender he is, they would jump up and take him.
Yeah, and I think that. So I guess we did this in a couple different ways because my thought would be, you did it like a redraft of current era, right? For like that current team. My thought was a redraft based on these current teams, like as the Bulls are constructed now. Those needs. What would you redraft, knowing the players now? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I kind of did it more
where,
of at that time when they were making these picks, but based on the player that the player is now in today's day and age.
Like they know what the player is going to become.
Right. 2 years later.
Don't yet know their future.
Right. 2 years later, the Pelicans know that Zion has been hurt for a full season and a half. They're going to take Ja.
Yeah.
Right.
I still think
I don't mind the PJ Washington one. The more I think about it, the guy can shoot. He's big enough. He's only 6'7", but he's kind of big enough to play the 4. He plays the 5 for Charlotte.
Charlotte doesn't have any 5s.
Yeah, except I think they still have a Plumlee there.
They have a plum dog.
I don't mind them not taking Kobe. I agree with Titus Thibault. Give me some lane. I'm surprised Thibault went as low as he did, given even though he's still kind of like a defensive specialist essentially. I think he still would have gone higher, especially with how the league is played today.
Yeah,
maybe even over Cam Reddish because
I see guys like him and Mikal Bridges, or not. Who's the guy in the Bridges in Phoenix? Is that Mikal?
Yeah, it's Michael. Yeah.
Okay, Miles is the guy. Yeah, Miles is the guy. I think though, like Bridges and Thibault, I think those kind of rangy perimeter defenders are going to start to be priorities for teams. A guy can hit it.
When you look at Boston, that's how they have all their guys are 6'7" with 7-foot wingspans.
Toronto's is very similar, where everybody's 6'7", 6'9", and just can guard.
Yep.
So I think that guys like that are going to be looked at differently. But yeah, interesting redraft. I was actually probably the biggest surprise I had was you going Garland over Zion, because I still had I obviously I moved Ja to number 1, but I still had Zion going number 2 based on the potential, even though
what's funny with the Garland thing is I'm pretty sure he was supposed to be like the number 1 pick, but I don't think he played at Vanderbilt or he got hurt really early on.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I can't remember exactly, and I didn't do the research prior, but. I agree with Joey though. Like I think I would take him 2 over Zion. I don't know when's Zion going to play. There was supposed to be a dunk video about him. They said he was going to play 5-on-5. Going to be ready for the playoffs.
I don't think
it's all a joke with Zion at this point. Now he wants out of New Orleans because he doesn't trust the front office, which I can kind of see that. But like it feels like more of a cop out. You've been in the league for 2 years, all of a sudden now I don't know, man.
I don't know. He comes back next year and is healthy, even if he's playing for a different team or something like that.
That's why I'm cutting what I'm saying short.
Yeah,
too.
it's like all of a sudden it's like, oh, Zion, not so bad.
Yeah, yep.
All right, that was a good redraft 2019. Let's move to 2020. This is the LaMelo Ball draft.
It is. All right, so I'll go through the actual picks. So pick 1, Anthony Edwards to the Timberwolves, James Wiseman to Golden State, LaMelo Ball to Charlotte, Patrick Williams to Chicago, Isaac Okoro to Cleveland, Onyeka Okongwu to the Hawks, Killian Hayes to Detroit, Obi Toppin to the Knicks, Denny Avdia to Washington, and Jalen Smith to Phoenix.
All right.
My redraft. LaMelo Ball goes number 1 to Minnesota. Golden State takes Isaiah Stewart over James Wiseman.
Okay.
Yeah, this is the one. We'll come back to this. This is
Charlotte takes Anthony Edwards over LaMelo Ball. The Bulls take Tyrese Halliburton over Patrick Williams.
Oh,
that's good.
That would be nice.
Cleveland takes Desmond Bane over Isaac Okoro. The Hawks stay with their pick, Onyeka Okongwu. Detroit takes Sadiq Bey. They took Sadiq Bey later on in the draft, so they're just going to swap their picks here. Then take Sadiq Bey first over Killian Hayes. The Knicks at 8 take James Wiseman over Obi Toppin. At 9, the Wizards take Isaac Okoro over Denny Avdia, and then at 10, Phoenix takes Patrick Williams instead of Jalen Smith.
Okay.
Did you give New York James Wiseman because New York is used to having injured star high potential athletes?
I did keep the theme consistent through 2019 and 2020.
Nice.
Because I feel like they would still take Obi Toppin, but
I do think,
Wiseman.
though, that there was probably more discussion, right? James Wiseman is available at
Yeah.
that point. There was potential that he was going to be a good player that I think
True.
at that point in time, you may have decided to take James Wiseman over Obi Toppin. And based on my calculations or my little scoring metric here, you're getting over a 2-point improvement by taking James Wiseman over Obi Toppin when he is playing and healthy.
All right.
Also, did you put Isaiah Stewart this high because he got into a fight with LeBron or wanted to
address this?
beat up LeBron?
This
This is the elephant in the piston.
I didn't. So obviously they were taking a big. I think they were pretty committed to that, just based on their needs at that point. They have Clay, they have Steph, they have Draymond. They've got kind of their grouping around them. And in reality, they did take Jordan Poole the year before. So they don't need one of the higher performing small guys that are in this draft. So they're taking one of the better available big men. And based on how he's played so far, Isaiah Stewart is a relatively decent big man out of this draft.
It's him and Precious. That's it. Like,
Yeah.
This was a weak big man draft. This is not a draft I liked.
What does Edwards play? Edwards plays the 3.
Anthony, he plays the 2.
He plays the 2. Ooh, I still feel like if you redraft and Golden State takes him because he's just so athletic, and you just go, we're gonna.
You can put him at the 3, right? And then Wiggins wouldn't be.
Yeah, but at that point, they could have taken LaMelo Ball at 2 as well.
Well, LaMelo would go first, right?
Right, but like if they didn't take him at 2 already, he was available at that point.
Oh, you're talking about in the real draft.
In the real draft, like they were so far away from touching a guard of any type.
But I wonder because LaMelo was more of like a true point.
True.
Where
yeah.
And now knowing what Edwards is, you're doing like a redraft. Would you go, all right, give me a guy that's just explosive, and I'm gonna pair him with following year they're getting Kuminga, and now you got just an insane backcourt.
I kind of agree with Joey. I don't know. Like, it's
just
weird because the Warriors don't have. I think the Warriors would just trade the pick for like a big because there's no bigs. Like that's why James Wiseman.
Yeah, was their pick.
Is weird. Even though, this is a weird one.
It was much
Isaiah Stewart is just.
I just don't know. Like looking through the available players, I just don't know
who they would go with.
Yeah, the notable names that I did pick out that I didn't mix in here: Cole Anthony. Went 15th to Orlando. Tyrese Maxey went 21st to Philly. And then Emmanuel quickly went 25th to OKC. Obviously plays in New York now. So Tyrese Maxey could have been somebody that got mixed in here. But
yeah, he moved into my top 10. So did Cole Anthony too.
Didn't see a huge improvement, stat-wise on it. But obviously for the Bulls, right, getting Tyrese Halliburton over Patrick Williams would have been great because at that point you probably wouldn't have had to give up Wendell Carter Jr. for Vooch because you would have had Wendell and PJ Washington, which means you wouldn't have had to send out money and picks for Lonzo. So you would have had Halliburton.
I love that he just went into like what the Bulls should have done. This is what
imagine though?
Into.
Yeah, no, Halliburton was a big miss.
DeRozan, PJ Washington.
But you don't get DeRozan without Vooch. That's the other thing too. Like DeRozan came here because of the Vooch trade.
DeRozan came because of Levine.
I think both.
It was both. Like
once they Levine didn't reach out to him, Vooch reached out to him.
Yeah,
the USC connection definitely helped.
And that's a lot of what I heard too.
But if you've got Tyrese Halliburton, he's probably. I mean, that's an improvement. I don't think you're gonna pass that up. Man, that would have been fun.
It's definitely just sliding doors, but I just love how Joey just took it to the Bulls. He's like, "How does this all affect the Bulls?"
I'll just put Big Stu in Golden State.
I mean, you think about it.
Halliburton now.
2 picks in a. I mean, they had 2 top 10 picks 2 years in a row.
Yeah,
one of them is a solid NBA player in Kobe White. Like he's gonna be fine. Yeah. Patrick Williams is. I mean, he's on the verge of being a bust at this point.
Ouch.
Oh, wow.
He's on the verge. I mean, he's not a bust yet, but it's not impossible.
This is true.
No, you're right. That's
For a number
He's-
4 pick.
He's
Yeah,
more
upset
likely to
with
be a
Patrick
bust
Williams.
than Kobe White is.
we can vent
on
our Bulls frustrations.
But
I
this is
got
a
a lot.
good draft. This is a good. There's some good players in here. I mean,
Yeah.
Zeke Bay
Like,
has
I
turned out great. Isaac Okoro, Anthony Edwards. I mean, these are
Yeah,
these are some
Maxey.
good players. Maxey, yeah. I mean, there's some good.
Cole
some
Anthony,
longevity.
dunk contest participant.
Yeah. Alexei Pokushevsky.
Participant.
He's in
Yeah,
this
I
draft.
couldn't find somewhere to put last week's Pirtle answer. I couldn't find a place. I
Pokushevsky.
thought about putting him at number 2 for Golden State, but I'm just kidding.
They don't need that big of a man.
And Desmond Bain went 30th.
Yeah, he
That
would be
guy's
moving
way
way up. He would be
that's
moving way
that's the biggest move. I had him going 5 right to Cleveland.
up. Oh,
And then Marco Simonovic, who's rocking it into the G League right now, right, for the
Yeah.
Windy City.
Yeah, that's not good.
all right. Well,
So,
that's
yeah. All right.
our redrafts. Good work, Joey.
Thanks.
And now we'll get to a quick little fun segment here. NBA TV comps. Chris, I'm gonna throw it to you. You brought up this idea. Give us the original pitch and kind
Yeah.
of laid it out.
So I've been watching a lot of New Girl.
Love New Girl.
I work from home, and it's just something that's on while I'm, messing with my pivot tables and my day job that requires me to work in Excel a lot. And it hit me as I was watching season 5, and I was like, man, why isn't this show where it was before? Like, what happened here? Then obviously Jess, played by Zoe Deschanel, left for 6 episodes for maternity leave. And the show really never bounced back and made me think this is kind of what's happened with the Bulls. They didn't really, we had an amazing streak. Then in the middle of January, DeMar DeRozan or Lonzo Ball gets hurt. Caruso gets hurt again in Milwaukee a week later. And the Bulls are kind of coming back, but it's not really feeling the same. So really, I went through the entire season, kind of try to do a side-by-side comparison of the beginning of the Bulls season to the beginning of New Girl throughout the New Girl's run of a series, and compared to the Bulls 2021-22 season. Titus, I believe you have seen New Girl?
I've seen it a bunch of times. So.
And Adam or Joey, have you ever seen the show New Girl?
No, I've never seen an episode of
Nope.
New Girl.
Oh, okay. All right.
this will be fun.
This is all for Titus.
Yes, this is,
basically.
this is my time to shine.
All I know is there's a game they play called FDR.
No, it's called
Yeah,
True
why?
American.
Yeah,
True American, but you shout FDR or something at some point.
JFK, FDR.
AFK, okay.
Wow.
Yeah. Aaron tried to make us play it one time. It did not go well.
There's no
rules.
There's
Yeah.
no rules to the
Exactly.
game.
That was the problem.
Apparently, there are some rules you can look up online. But anyways, yes, I would love to play True American. If they want to play with me, shouts out.
All right, let's see how this goes. I wrote this out. I planned this out. Let's just
Plan
read
this whole
through it.
thing.
All right, so I got this 2021-22 Bulls season is a lot like the entire series of New Girl. Going into the season, there were higher expectations after the Bulls signed Lonzo Ball, got DeMar, and Alex Caruso. New Girl premiered in 2011, had similar high expectations with Zoe Deschanel coming in as the lead, fresh off of 500 Days of Summer. If you guys seen that movie, great movie. Started in Elf, obviously, years prior. She was a name. She's a name. You put her on a sitcom, it'd be a great sitcom. Bulls get off to a strong start. Great chemistry with Lonzo Ball, DeMar, Zach, Caruso, Vooch. New Girl, strong chemistry with their lead cast with Zoe Deschanel, Jake Johnson, Max Silverstein, Hannah Simone, and Lamar Morris. The Bulls are playing above expectations. DeMar playing the best basketball of his career, honestly, in the beginning of the season. Early MVP candidate. New Girl, very strong first season, in my opinion. Justin Long guest starred, had a little run there.
One of the best first seasons ever.
Absolutely. Yeah. and then you really see the actors settling into their characters.
Yes.
34 games into the season for the Bulls. They're 24-10, first in the East. And then same time in my timeline I'm creating here, New Girl hits its stride in season 2. We got the cooler episode 15.
Cooler, best episode ever.
One of the best, right? Yeah, Nick and Jess finally kiss.
It's a banger. Not like this.
No.
I can do quotes all day, man. It's in my wheelhouse.
Yeah, and that's basically like how the Bulls peaked with DeMar hitting back-to-back game winners on New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, basically New Girl. I feel like episode. really it was a cooler episode, and there was also I compared to that, and also in season 3 with the Prince episode, feel like New
Yeah.
Girl, in my opinion, kind of peaked from that moment. That was like the echelon, the best part of the show. Nick says I love you. Nick gives finger guns.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. Seasons 3 and 4 are fantastic, even though Nick and Jess break up. Even though we still have some strong episodes with background check and clean break. Season 5 rolls around. Zoe gets pregnant, like I said. She leaves the show. She's out for 6 episodes in jury duty, according to the show. 2 weeks after DeMar hits those back-to-back game winners, when we're at the top of the echelon, Bulls fandom,
Number 1
Lonzo Ball
seed.
goes down. Week later, Caruso gets hurt again after just coming back. The
Brutal
Bulls
loss.
try to carry on with Ayo DeSumo as the point guard, but it's just not the same. It's similar to how with New Girl with Zoe Deschanel out, they bring in Megan Fox to play Reagan.
Does a good job.
It
Does
was,
a good job.
it's kind of like Ayo was a point guard. He
Yeah.
did fine, but the quality of the show really took a hit. Finally, Caruso comes back, but really the team's just not the same. Zoe comes back in the middle of season 5. This time, really, though, in my opinion, the charm of the show kind of wore off. Ayo is still, and the thing is, Ayo is still a starting point guard. Megan Fox was still making appearances.
Yeah,
in
she's
seasons
still
5 and 6.
very heavy.
There's a little love triangle there that just nobody believed. There's no chemistry there. With
Nobody
Jake
wanted
Johnson. No, nobody wanted it. I don't understand it. There's still some moments, in season 6, Hannah and Max get married. The Bulls, they had a 6-game win streak. Still believe. And then, we still get some episodes in season 6 and 7, similar to how the Bulls, flashes with Patrick Williams and Alex Caruso. But really, season 6 and 7 of New Girl are kind of like the last 10 games for the Bulls, in my opinion, where there's some hits, there's some misses. We're losing to the Knicks. We're beating the Wizards.
Stretch.
And then, but the thing is, what really, after coming up with a similarity at the end, New Girl season 7 was only 8 episodes after being kind of 22 every season. So kind of like an indication of how the Bulls postseason run might end, or it might end a little premature for the Bulls as well.
So I can help you out with this. It was canceled at the end of season 6, or they ended season 6 in a way that they said that they could, the fans would be happy with it. There you go. Bulls equals New Girl. So in a very similar way, it feels the end of New Girl and the end of this Bulls season feels the same way, where it's like rushed. It's like this consolation prize. We're going to make the big boy playoffs, as they're calling it, probably in the 5th seed or 6th seed, which is where we originally thought, or our expectations for the Bulls were at the beginning of the season. But because the Bulls season had gotten so high, to kind of end this way does feel like a letdown.
Yeah.
When it's same thing with New Girl. The New Girl hit some really good highs in season 2 in particular. 3 and 4 have some spots too as well. But then, there's this little lull where you're like, oh man, this really could have been awesome. And instead we get this. And then they decided to come back for, I believe it's 7 or 8 episodes for season 7.
Yeah, it was 8 episodes.
And that feels like that will be our first round exit.
It was in 8 games. So what is that? No, that's not even possible. No. We'll see. Appreciate the assistance here, Titus, on having one.
I love New Girl. It's great. Look, hold on. I'm gonna have to do a little bit. Hold on. I gotta. Season 6. Oh no. Season 5 is the Megan Fox season, right? With the jury duty.
Yeah. 5's heavy on Megan.
I think it's pretty solid. I really do like season 6. There's some great episodes. I don't know which episode Goosebumps Walkaway is in, but that's an awesome episode. I would highly recommend, if you're gonna watch an episode of New Girl, watch Goosebumps Walkaway. One of the greatest.
That's
episodes.
season 5.
That's one of my favorite episodes, man. I love it.
Wow.
It's a great one. But we probably get Pepperwood in the 6th season. He writes the Pepperwood Chronicles.
Oh, that's that. Yeah, that was pretty. Yeah. There's some moments. But it's just
some moments. Yeah. Well, we'll shift because I can see Joey has no idea what's going on.
Hey, I said I had no clue when the idea came up, and
Well, unless
we're going to talk about Swamp People, I can't help you.
Swamp People. I regularly listen to a New Girl podcast, and
welcome to our show. Shout out to Welcome to Our Show.
I don't listen to that one. I listen to now I'm blanking on the name. Who's That Girl? That's what I listen to. So it's called. I have checked out Welcome to Our Show. It's pretty good, but honestly, it made me respect how hard it is to do a podcast. Their first couple episodes, not that strong. I was like, wow,
It's not easy.
from
Don't tag him in this.
don't
clip.
tag me this one. Well, no, but they're like, come on, it's
We'll
Zoe
highlight it
Deschanel
before
and-
this.
Yeah, no, that's it. Like that's the actual actors from the show. They were doing like kind of like an Office Ladies podcast. If you guys are familiar with that. Anyways, a lot of TV talk here. All right, well, I will do a couple. Chris gave us that, and that gave me a couple ideas for some comps. I didn't go as deep as you did. You went real deep, but I did get a couple comps here. So my first one is Memphis. This season's Memphis or I should say the Memphis iteration, right? As being very similar to the original run of Breaking Bad. So Ja comes in, has a good first season, wins Rookie of the Year. You know, the first season of Breaking Bad was awesome. It was short, so it wasn't everything it could have been, but it was caught everybody by storm. Everybody was watching Breaking Bad. By season 2, season 3, you really start to understand the show is going to be really good. By season 3, that was when they really started to hit their stride. This is the third season for Ja. They're second seed in the West. Obviously going to go ahead and pull this off, or as far as a deep playoff run we expect. And now I have season 4 of Breaking Bad as the best season of Breaking Bad. Now, is that a predictor for Memphis? Does Memphis come and win the title next year? Do they go to the finals next year? That was the extent of my Memphis Breaking Bad comp. But the other comp that I really liked, this is a historical team, was the 90s Bulls as Seinfeld. Pretty straightforward comp. And that they both ran the 90s. So, the 90s Bulls won up pretty much every title in the 90s. Seinfeld was the biggest show on the air, maybe of all time. It was awesome. And then I did some player to character comps. MJ as Jerry Seinfeld, obviously. Scottie Pippen as George Costanza, maybe a little bit grouchy, the second fiddle.
Yeah, I'm reading his book. He's pretty grouchy in it.
A little upset. Rodman is Kramer, the wacky sidekick. And then I had a couple of wild card ones. I had Phil Jackson as Larry David. So the one of the big writers of the show, kind of behind the scenes pulling the strings. So not actually in the show, but like Phil. And then I had this was a tough one. I had Steve Kerr as Elaine or / Julia Louis-Dreyfus, which is the only one to go on and have success after Seinfeld. So Kerr won his titles with
that's well done
with the Bulls, went on to win with the Spurs, went on to win with the Warriors, just like Julia Louis-Dreyfus had Veep, the New Adventures of Old Christine, some other hit show. She's currently in some Marvel properties.
Yep.
So she's doing pretty good. I love.
She's also a Chicago girl too. So there you go.
Chicago girl. It's right there. I thought Steve Kerr, he had some success after the Bulls. So Bulls in the 90s, baby.
I like that. I like the break. I want to go back to the Breaking Bad Grizzlies comp. They peak in season 4. How many seasons did Breaking Bad go? Is it 6?
I think it's technically it's 5. It's 5A and 5B.
5A. But so the thing is, are we just gonna have in 5B? It's like the 5th season with Ja. He just can't keep getting away with this. The Grizzlies fall apart.
I think that's what happens.
Is that what's gonna happen?
We should.
I can't believe they're still winning like this. This doesn't make any sense.
And then the team breaks up and they never play together again.
Yeah, and then we have Jaren Jackson Jr. going to not Seattle, but what's the closest city to Alaska right now? He's he's the Jesse version.
He's the Jesse, and then you got
Desmond Bain wants to be his own.
Better Call Saul.
Yeah,
I can see that. I like the little TV comps.
That's good.
All right, you guys ready for Pirtle?
Yes, I forgot about Pirtle.
Yes,
Pirtle. We got time for Pirtle.
Already.
Pirtle time. All right, let me share my screen. All right, we have not looked at this yet, I believe, right, guys?
Nope, unless you did, because you're the one who slept last week.
I actually haven't played it in a while.
Yeah, the responses in the chat have slowed down from Sir Titus.
Well, a lot of times I actually forget to play. Can you guys see?
Yeah.
All right. Are we going no silhouette? Correct.
Yeah.
No silhouette.
Yeah. Of course.
All right.
Caruso is
Caruso.
that
I think
That's
Caruso
our-
is a great guess. That's who I've been guessing. I think it's perfect.
Okay,
Wow.
again with the blanks.
Okay,
We got
so
blank nothing. So let's go
I've been going
West.
Nurkic a lot when I see something like this.
All right,
they're
let's go.
younger. Well, they're younger than 28. Is
Oh wait, they're
Jr.,
younger. Oh my bad, I didn't see.
and they're taller than 6'5".
Jaren Jackson Jr.
All right, let's go Jaren Jackson Jr.
Okay. Okay.
All right, West. Ooh.
Ooh, young.
Ooh, young. Wow. And he's smaller. All right, so shorter than 6'11".
Yeah, look this.
Not in the Southwest division.
Not in the South.
Let me look up the other divisions then. I'm not, it's not
Pacific.
cheating. Divisions are not cheating.
Pacific or
Pacific or
Northwest.
Northwest. That sounds right.
I don't know. Bad divisions.
I know too.
Younger than 22.
So what? Let's pick a team in a division. Why can't I find my divisions here? What, the Pacific Division?
Yeah.
He's
So
younger than 22, so he's got to be he's got to be a rookie. He's maybe off off our redraft here.
yeah, I should have shut that down. About
Maybe like
no shorter than
Terrence Mann.
6'11".
Terrence Mann. Ooh, that's all right. That's a good
Ooh,
one.
That's good. That's good.
Shorter,
Yeah.
maybe that forward. I don't know if
know
he's
his number,
younger than
but-
22 though. We'll see.
Terrence Mann West. All right, so we
Oh, he's
eliminated
old.
another.
All right.
Oh, he's
Yeah,
old.
eliminated another division though.
Oh, he's only 6'5". I thought he was a little taller.
So he's in the northeast,
northwest. Northwest. Who's on the Timberwolves, Chris? Anybody young in the Timberwolves?
That young?
Ooh.
Let's try like. Is Jaden
Or the-
McDaniels that young?
You've got the Timberwolves, the Nuggets, the Blazers,
If it's
Okay.
the Timberwolves, I'm gonna get in trouble if I don't get it.
OKC, or Utah.
Yeah, let's go Jaden McDaniels because he's 6'9". Yeah,
Ooh,
all right.
All right.
All right, so
Oh,
it's not
he's shorter than
Minnesota.
6'9". He's 21.
21.
Shorter than 6'9".
Forward.
This is what
What
happens
about,
every time. I get
Is Anthony
Higher number than 14.
Simons?
higher than 14. I don't know anything about no.
No,
That's
no,
not,
no,
a
I'm
good
just-
guess.
Just guessing. He's young. He's got to be shorter than 6'9", right?
He's a
6'8"?
forward. Anthony Simons is a guard.
Do we want to
Oh.
pull up the silhouette here?
No,
Not yet. Not yet.
All right.
silhouette out of here. For some
Manic
reason I had
hitter.
Theo Maladon in my head.
All right,
He
let's
plays
see.
for OKC.
Theo
Yo,
Maladon.
Maladon.
Okay, it's
Oh,
an
OKC.
OKC
All right,
guy.
he's an
He's a
OKC
guard.
guy.
He picked a guard.
Wait, Josh Giddey? How tall is Josh Giddey?
He's not a forward,
He's
though.
good.
Is that a
Taller than
forward?
6'4".
Guard.
Unless they call him a guard forward. No, he's a forward, though. Not a forward.
Is OKC though.
Oh man, who else is on OKC guys? Dort.
No,
Dort,
he's not.
Dort,
He's
no.
not 21.
It was Poku
Okay.
last time.
It
Got
was.
another OKC guy. Back
Another
to
OKC
back
player.
here.
I have the OKC. I'm going to be not.
It's not Shea.
Not Shea Gilgeous. That's the only guy enough.
You know what? A guy I saw in one of the redrafts, Baisley. He had like one of the most highest minutes.
He can't be 21 though, right?
Darius Baz. He could be.
Yeah. OKC.
Yeah,
I think so.
yeah.
All right.
I think he's 21. All right.
Click it.
Whoa! It's
Whoa!
literally everything. It's not him. It's literally
Oh,
him, but not him.
come on!
Or our last guess.
Whoa.
No. We got two guesses left.
Oh, two guesses. Yeah.
Whoa.
Come on.
Wow.
That might have been the craziest thing to ever happen on here.
Damn.
Hey,
I don't know any other OKC
I don't know any other
players.
OKC players.
No silhouette.
Wait.
I
This
don't
is
know
a
if the
guess of
silhouette-
7 of 8, so you still got 2 more.
I don't know if the silhouette's-
Robinson Earl.
Robinson Earl.
Are you looking up rosters?
No, there was another rookie guy. We just did this.
So
Come
you are
on.
looking up rosters.
No. I was. I don't
Robinson
have-
Earl. We got it. Wow. Solid 7
I had it
guesses.
closed.
I've never heard of this guy.
Wow.
He's another rookie. We just went through all the rookie.
Yeah,
the
they're all through
drafts.
the rookie
I
drafts.
remember
Yeah.
seeing the OKC with yes.
Good for you,
Yeah.
Chris.
Impressive. Well done.
I remember seeing like
Well
a dash.
done. So the streak continues. Well, we have not missed one.
Jeez. Kudos, Christopher.
Back-to-back
That was weird that-
OKC
Cut.
That was weird that everything was right except the person.
Yeah.
with the number.
Just
How
the
does that
number.
work?
Oh, it's not his
Just the
number.
jersey number.
Wow.
Wild.
Good stuff, guys. Well,
One second. I got some breaking Bulls news here.
Bulls news.
According to Casey Johnson, the Bulls beat reporter, the Bulls whispers are that they will pursue Anthony Davis, Rudy Gobert, or DeAndre Ayton if they do become available in the offseason. And that the Bulls are only willing to trade Nikola Vucevic for an all-star. So the cat is out of the bag that they are willing to trade him, which I think makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
And I think it's a smart move that those three guys on the list, there's one of them I think we would all throw off that list immediately.
80 for Vooch, done.
That
Lock
Lakers
it
would
in.
never do that.
All right, we can talk about that next week.
Yes,
Or the week
we'll
after
talk about
that.
next week.
Yeah.
All right.
I saw it pop up. I got the notification. Wanted to throw that out as a little,
That is a
juicy nugget.
red hot alert. So we'll keep our eyes. Start calling your sources, guys. We'll figure out what's happening in the offseason. Well, that is it for us tonight. Join us next week to talk more NBA basketball. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitch at the Box Out Boys. Slide in those DMs. Join us live Wednesdays at 8:30. Send us an email to theboxoutboys@gmail.com. And as always, like, subscribe, and review wherever you listen to this at now. We very much appreciate that. So for Chris, Joey, and Adam, I'm Titus. Until next time, Box Out.